Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a ranked game in my gearing, going over the matchmaking, looking at an enemy hack, Montana, Republic, Kremlin, Henry, Gearing, Haragumo. Yes, no radar. Looking at my team, we've got a hack of our own, Conqueror, Yamato, Kremlin, a Stalingrad, myself and my gearing, and a Shimakaze. Um, this is a little bit of a loaded game. But basically what's going to happen, we've got a Shimakaze, he's saying in chat he's going to C, so I'm going to cancel my turn, go up to B cap. We're actually going to get in a little Mexican um, staring contest here for a second while we figure out what each other are doing. It is one of those things. We didn't bump into each other or anything like that. That's always a sign that you're dealing with good players, because every hit point can be precious, especially in a destroyer. So try not to throw them away playing bumper boats just getting out of spawn. Now I'm not getting up here all that fast, so I'm expecting to have to play the defensive, especially with the way that this hack is just patrolling right in front of the B cap. This is actually pretty smart. And he picks up, I think, the our Shimakaze, and he jumps all over the Shima. And yeah, he's gonna be harassing that Shima for a while. And the issue is this Stalingrad. Rather than pushing right in here into a position where you could do something useful, he's up here, you know, farming damage. And I'm just gonna pause it right here because shit like this pisses me off. If this guy is not doing his job, you know, the battleships, for whatever reason, they haven't even really left spawn anyway. They're not that slow. You know, the DDs are already down here to cap, and all you're doing is leaving your DDs hang out to dry. Look at this. This Kremlin, he's one grid square away from being inside the cap. Look at our battleships. You know, and this here matters. This team is aggressive. They're moving towards their objectives. I already know that most likely they're going to win this game because they're going to seize the positions that are strategic to take this map, and this team is going to get boxed out and killed. Now, I'm going to play, well, I'm going to try to play Torpedo smart here and work this corner, reverse in, all the typical good stuff. I know that I don't have radar to deal with, as expected. We've got a DD on cap early. I launched my torps tight to this side thinking he was going to hug this island. He's not. He's crossing. And I'm just going to get my guns on target. Now he's actually already had AP loaded, so he actually wins this initial trade a little bit. He's able to angle, I wasn't. But the issue is here, he can't shoot right now. He'd have to smoke up to shoot. And this is the lesson about defending the cap. And you're gonna watch me, I'm in a position, I can't really be torped. I have my RPF telling me, you know, the rough indicator for where the guy was at. I've got, you know, cover for a while. You know, nothing can radar me. Why not take these shots? I see so many times the guys are like, oh, there's nothing I can shoot at. I might as well just, you know, watch this guy cap right in front of me. And I'm looking, I'm seeing if RPF is gonna switch. Nope, still gotta be there somewhere. So just systematically, you know, I know he's in B cap. So just keep swinging, oh, what was that? And then all it takes is just that one, you know, oh, there you are. Now, notice, if this Stalingrad had done his goddamn job and pushed up here rather than play, oh, I'm gonna farm, this would never have happened. This gearing would already be dead. Because myself and this Kremlin would have tore it apart, probably along with the Yamato as well. This here, you know, really hurt us. Because I wouldn't have to go out here like this trying to get this guy out of the cap. And I tried to dodge the torps, but gonna take one on the stern. Above all, do not take the torpedo amidship. You know, I took it on the stern. It is what it is. The Kremlin shot, so I've got a window of opportunity here. And just gonna peek out. Get the resets. Now he's shooting, so I hop back in my smoke. And now he's detected. He needs to smoke up. I'm just disengaging. Waiting to see if my battleships will finish this off. There's the shots. Done. So I traded a lot of hit points in there. And look, the Stalingrad's where he should have been from the get-go. Now, this is a lesson in patience. I only have 5k HP left. And I need to figure out a way how I'm going to support my team. My Shima's dead on C, so that's telling me the Haragumo's going to take C shortly. The hack is moving in. I see my smoke's burning off, so I just keep my AA dark. And wait till he's actually overhead to pop defensive fire and, you know, focus planes, all of that. The exercise in patience is I'm waiting for my smoke. The enemy team doesn't have a radar, so I really want to get in here and just play it safe. I want to get this cap without losing another single hit point for this cap, because it's already cost a lot. So 4 seconds left on the smoke. Again, if you notice, I'm not waiting actually for AA to run all the way out. I'm turning my AA off sooner to reset the consumable, put it on cooldown faster so I'll get it again quicker. It's something that comes in handy with these new action CVs. Obviously, you're not shooting down any planes if all the planes have been recalled, so no sense in just letting the consumable run. Turn off your AA and get that cooldown started. Now here, I'm just laying a big smoke corridor. I want to leave myself a way out, and I want to push up here far enough that I can throw some torpedoes into sea. The Haragumo isn't on there yet, but I expect that that's going to happen sometime soon. Right there, losing 2 ships, that's really painful right there. And I mean, it comes down to a lot on this Stalin player. He wasn't where he should have been initially, and then, you know, exposing the broadside of your ship to this position, that's a rookie move. Anybody that camps that island knows you can't do that. So here, you know, you're seeing why I laid the smoke the way I did. Gonna take the time to turn around inside my smoke. The whole time, just gonna let the AA run. Now I'm watching to see if that Kremlin's gonna push up here towards the church. Because if he does go to the church, I would have torpedo options, but Kebabs is an experienced player, and I see that, you know, it's just not gonna happen. He's content camping there for now, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull out because my entire flank has collapsed here. I don't know why my hack is still sailing this way. He should be sailing this way. Maybe he's in the process of turning, but I would have hoped to have had that turn completed much sooner because Henry is a really fast ship that can just run right up here. Now here I'm just trying to shore up this this flank, see what I can do. But again, this game is pretty much over. And this is what I'm talking about. Sea of Fortune. I'm just gonna pause it 1 second and talk about this map. Sea of Fortune is not a map for the faint of heart. You have to get out there. You have to get angles, and if you don't, you're going to basically be boxed in. If you look at my team, they all pretty much got boxed in right here. In this box, you know, we lost these couple ships over here at sea. You know, lost to Stalingrad, and our box got smaller and smaller. You look, they've got a Republic controlling the flank. They've got a Montana Henry pushing up the other flank, and your box just gets smaller and smaller. You know, you can't take your time and see where things are going. You need to know where your position is on this map, and you need to get your butt in gear. You know, this Stalingrad could have easily played, you know, this island. He could have played, you know, over here, supported this flank. He could have played the little island here. There's so many different places on this map that you could place this ship. The very worst is out here because you're spotted from the moon. Your radar is of no use. So by the time he came in to try to radar, everything had already gone to shit because there's no radar support. We had the radar advantage and it was thrown away because a radar ship doesn't know what he's doing. And I know what he's doing. He's too busy about saving his goddamn star instead of actually getting up there and doing his job. And you know, congratulations, buddy. But that was a large part of the reason we lost this game is, you know, it got too expensive at the caps. Our DDs that should have had radar support to deal with stuff didn't. You know, our Shima that should have had a cruiser nearby that it could fall back to for AA support didn't, and was just got the crap harassed out of it. And you can't do those things. You can't do those things and expect to win consistently. And you know, the nonsense about this Save a Star, you know, all you're doing is playing defensive. You're basically admitting that I have no impact over the course of the game. I am just going to do the best I can to make sure that I don't lose a star. And that's not a really good way to start out a game. It just is crap. So here, I'm just launching some torpedoes, trying to shore this up. I know that this game's over. I can tell right here the Haragumo's going into B cap. We're going to be 3 capped out here shortly. But there's nothing I can really do about that. If I go in there now at this point, I'm gonna be at a massive HP deficit to that Haragumo. I'm gonna have to deal with, you know, the CV and everything else. So I'm coming up here where I can try to be effective and just try to keep these guys from folding in on my team completely for another few moments. I do manage to land a torpedo on this Montana. Now, speaking about shooting in smoke, this is dangerous because I'm pretty damn close to this Montana, and I'm expecting this guy to be slinging shots any moment now. Um, so what you're gonna see me do is I'm trying to be erratic. You know, they saw me last reversing in the smoke. I'm actually waiting until I've got a good bit of speed up. You see the Montana actually looking at me. You know, I was already up to half speed. Back up to half speed. And this is the importance of laying your smoke and stretching it out. This Gearing Captain build that I've got has 39-second smoke deployment. This is a tiny smoke screen compared to what I can lay. Now this is a misplay. I thought the CV was going to finish off the Montana. It didn't happen. I need to be shooting this guy. And I see the Henry rushing me. He doesn't appear to have hydro, but my smoke's starting to run out, so it's last stand time. And I figure the best thing I can do is try to take this Henry with me. Now, this Henry, I saw that he started to cheat this way. If you look, his ship is just turning. So I went on ahead, I led him with one, and I looked at his guns to see where his guns were. His guns are actually here. So that's making me think that he's going to swing his ship more this way. And I'm basically going to launch these torps basically just in his indicators right here. I'm launching those torps expecting him to try to turn into these, and these to finish the job if it didn't happen. I know I'm dead here. But the first one took it out. The second one, that was just insurance. And my CV did finally take care of that Montana. But this game's over. There's the Haragumo. There's the reason why I wasn't trying to defend the cap. 5k in a gearing. You just can't fight that one-on-one unless you're able to land a torped or have an advantage like radar or something like that. And so I just tried to fall back and be effective there. It is what it is. Now, at this point, the enemy team's just trying to farm my CV. But you know, this game really comes down to the initial positioning for my team. My team didn't do their job. They didn't push into their positions. They didn't push up and support their destroyers with AA. That led directly to the Shimakaze losing a lot of HP. It led to me just losing a lot of time, which let the enemy DD get on cap. Then we didn't have radar at the cap for, you know, right when we needed it. That led to ships losing excessive amounts of HP when they should have had a vision advantage. And, you know, that's pretty much the way the cookie crumbled here. So, a lot of detail about, you know, playing this map. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down a little further right here. Battleships, be thinking about crossfire. You know, you're not being effective shooting north and south on this map. You want to be shooting across the map. And there's lots of little positions that that you can be effective. Like, you know, right in here, you can actually shoot right through basically this line here. You can shoot right up into that and get a lot of broadside shots. I mean, you can do the same from back over here, right through here. You can also cover shots back through this gap up into ships camping out up here. You You know, the best battleship shots that I see on this map are, you know, diagonal across the map, because you get your best angles with the way cover lies and all of that. I mean, that Kreml was sitting right here and just nuked that Stalingrad. Actually didn't nuke, just finished him off because he had already lost a lot of HP already. But you know, this is a position where I'd put like a Des Moines, um, maybe a Minotaur. I'd be worried about the Minotaur having getting radared and overmatched by stuff. Um, Usually the Stalingrads, Moskvas, things like that, you'd put them up here, back in here, maybe in here or here, although you need to watch this one that you don't get pushed on the 910. But you know, those are the positionings where I'd put that. Des Moines, you know, you could stick the Des Moines there, there, even right in here if you can sneak it in. This one's a harder position to get in with a CV match. You'd probably want, you know, something like my gearing with the long deployment smoke to run that smoke, you know, just perfectly right out to get the Des Moines into this position if you were going to try to hold this. Um, but you could also do it, you know, later on in the game, right after the initial strike, make the run into the island, and you know, hold down the fort. I mean, from the south, it's still the same thing. I mean, you look, this island can go a long way with the Moskva Stalin radar. This is probably one of the most common for it. It'll just barely cover CCAP. Um, but I mean, you can work this point. Uh, there's a lot of areas where you can run radar on this map. Um, but what you don't want to do is have your radar cruisers way the hell out here, because you've lost your vision advantage that the radar can provide your destroyers on the caps, and that means that the enemy DDs, um, that's a lot less that they don't have to worry about. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and run this one out. Um, Talked a little bit more about map tactics on this one, because this was just really horribly played by my team, and it's a ranked game. It happens. Um, but you know, it is what it is. So anyway, just gonna let this finish out. Hope you guys have a good night, and I will talk to you later. Oh, and by the way, I did save a star here. 2 full base caps, 27 base defenses, and 116k. Ended up with like almost 18k base XP, something like that. Boop. Have a good night.